country. Penn was excellent back in the 70s and 80s, and then sort of fell off a little bit as other programs got stronger. Karen Brower, who's the head coach, I don't know if you guys saw her, she was sitting up here talking before, redhead, really tall. She just finished her 9th season at Penn. When she took over the program in 99 or 2000 or whenever it was that she started, the year before she started, they were 1-12. And they were 0-6 in the Ivy League, so they were pretty much cellar dwellers, and they weren't even playing a very tough schedule. So she came in here, and the first couple of years were rough. She took a little while to get her recruits on board with everything that was happening. She wanted to do with her goals of winning the Ivies, winning a national championship. When I started, my first year was in 2005, that season, and we were, I believe, 9-7, which was one of the first years that Penn had a winning record in like 20-some years. The next year we were 10-6. Then last year we were 16-2. We lost 2 games to the same team in purple, that many of you may know. But this year we were 17-2 this year. We lost 1 game to Northwestern. We beat Northwestern in the regular season. Yeah, we're the only team to beat them in the last 40-some games. That's awesome. We beat them when it really mattered, but that's okay. But our record over the last 2 years is second best in the country, only to Northwestern. And if you take out our 4 Northwestern games, which we're 1-3 in those games, but if you take those out, our record's about 40-1 over the last 2 years. So we're doing pretty well. Our rules, as I said, are very restrictive. Basically what we can do in the off season, so that's from about September to February. We start practice in the spring on February 1st. A lot of programs can start up in January. We're not allowed to. So from September to January, or February, basically what we have are running and lifting 3 days a week all year. We even do that in season too, not the running part, but lifting. In the fall, we can have 12 dates together as a team. So those 12 dates, we schedule 10 practices and 2 scrimmage tournaments on the weekend. So we'll do that usually over a month. So it'll be like a little mini season. We'll have 3 practices a week and then a weekend tournament. We'll do that over about 4 weeks. Outside of that, so in September, we usually do that practices in October. So September, November, and January, we can do what are called individuals, which are 6 players and a coach. Each player can do 2 of those a week for 45 minutes each time. So it's about an hour and a half of a group of 6 players and a coach. It's great for stick skills, for shooting, for 1v1, especially for defense and for freshmen when they come in to really work on the basics. So we go through, we get to the end of January, we start up February 1st with practice, then we go 6 days a week. Once we get into season, the end of February, we have typically 2 games a week, and then we're just like every other team. Non-Ivy scholarship schools have a lot more leeway. They can basically have a 6-week fall training season. Within that training season, they can do whatever they want. They can practice 5 days a week, play 5 tournaments on the weekends, and it's pretty much a full season. Not every team does that. Most teams do less than that, just because they don't want to tire out their players. But they can do individuals and running and lifting all through that. So that's where the Ivies are a little bit different in terms of the time of work we're allowed to spend with you. Something that's really important for the Ivies and here at Penn, especially to our success, is how hard our players work on their own. Because we don't get the time with them, that means they have to come out here on their own. And when we get into practice, we have 10 practices in the fall. I remember when I was in college, I'm sure you guys can attest, like we probably had 30 solid practices in the fall. 10 practices is not a lot of time, so we don't have time to break down the shooting or the 1v1s or stuff like that. So our players have to come out here, they spend a lot of time out here on their own. It's probably the most time-consuming in terms of your commitment to lacrosse. Division I does have scholarships. Penn and the Ivy League do not have scholarships, so I'll talk about that in a second with financial aid. But Division I, you're basically signing up for a job for 4 years. And most Division I programs have a full off-season training regimen. In the fall, it depends sort of where you are. The Ivies, again, our league that we're in has a lot of restrictions in terms of what we can do with our players, but we still see them a lot, pretty much almost every day in the fall in one capacity or another, running, lifting, practicing, things like that. Division II and Division III are both different. There are some scholarships available in Division II. There are no scholarships athletically available in Division III. Division III, I think typically you do less with your team in the fall. There are a lot of people that want to play 2 sports in college, field hockey and lacrosse or soccer and lacrosse, can do that at the Division III level easily. And it's great. It's a great thing to do if you're thinking about playing 2 sports. I'll talk again a little bit more about the Ivy League. So the Ivy League philosophy several reasons. Now, I would definitely advise against spending a lot of money on camps. I think that if you can find a camp that you like, that's, teaches the basic skills, that emphasizes, the important parts of the game, I think that's great. I do think camps are important in the recruiting process, more so for you guys. Obviously they're important for us as coaches because we want to be able to see you, work with you, evaluate you, see if you're coachable. But I think for you guys it's important to really get to see the campus, you get to work with those coaches. I can stand here and talk to you guys all day, but then you might come to camp and see that I'm a raving lunatic on the sideline, which I'm not, I promise. But you might learn that about a coach that you wouldn't have seen in the recruiting process. It's our job as coaches to sell you. It's your job to do the homework to make sure that that product that you're buying is what it says it is and what you want it to be. The camps are great because you get to meet a lot of the players on the team. They're the people you're going to be spending 4 years with. I would definitely advise against picking a school or a program because of the coaching staff. I could be sitting here talking to you today, I could be gone tomorrow. I won't be. I still have another year of grad school. But any school, any coach that tells you they're going to be there for your 4 years is basically leading you down a false path. You have to pick a school for the school, and it's a little bit of a cliche to say, you have to see yourself there without lacrosse, but it's true, because if the coaching staff turns over, you guys see, every year, every summer, right around this time,